Miles. How we doing? Good.
Josh, want to get out of the way? Were you the better athlete than your brother?
No, I'm not.
What was it like growing up?
It was a great experience. Obviously, being able to watch him play after I got done playing and all the rest of it. Kind of grew up in a coach's household. My dad, and just super proud of what he's been able to do. And obviously these are interesting situations when you find yourself competing with your sibling, but a little bit more interesting for my parents than anybody else. But no, it's we're looking forward to the opportunity, and I know he's trying to beat us just like we're trying to beat him.
Steph also finds it interesting because he said yesterday, you and Ben, I think they got the older little brother thing still going on.
I don't know about that. Yeah, it's we compete almost in anything we do, honestly, which is kind of fun. And this will be no different. So I think this is our fourth time having an opportunity to do this, just a little bit more at stake.
What about looking across the sideline this week and a lot of your former staffs over there too, guys who worked with you here? What's it going to be like going against them?
Yeah, I mean, again, super excited that they've all had opportunities, to move forward and do different things in their career. They've obviously done a nice job, of the things they're responsible for, and looking forward to the competition part of it. But you have friends with every team, really, that if you're in the league long enough, you have friends across the sideline almost with every game you play. And this will certainly be no different. And the fact that, we know each other a little bit more because we've worked together for a while. I don't really go too far into the advantage gained or not gained. We all have an opportunity to do whatever we want to do this week, schematically, and it's ultimately going to come down to our players. So, look forward to the competition.
Andre, over the course of the years, been very complimentary to you as an offensive coordinator who not only gets his strengths and weaknesses, but also kind of gets him as an individual. Given what he's gone through on and off the field over the last year, maybe how vindicating is it for you to see him have the success he's had over the last 2 weeks?
It's the most rewarding part of coaching. I don't think there's any question about it. The greatest thing we can receive back is when our players go through different things and work hard to overcome them, whether it's an obstacle or an adversity in their life or their career. And, we grow close to a lot of these guys, because we're with them for so long, for so many years or days or whatever. And you get to know them as people, beyond the guy in the helmet. And so, I know what Mondre's gone through, but I know who Mondre is and where he comes from. I know what his family's like. And it's just, it's super rewarding for me as a coach to watch him have success and continue to do the things that he does. He's a better person than he is a player, and he's a really good football player. And so when you get an opportunity to see guys do that, it's really special.
You competed against your brother in the regular season. This is the first time in the playoffs. Does this feel different?
Yep. It does. Again, I'm not competing against him. We're competing against the Texans, and this will be a hell of a game, and it's going to be an enormous challenge. And so, one of us will lose and one of us will win. And so we know that going into the game, and I'm going to do everything in my power that I can do in my role to help us win, and I'm sure he's going to do the same.
Comparison questions aren't the favorites around here, but just given your history and perspective, where does this Houston defense rank among the most challenging that you faced?
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. I mean, it's the best one we've played all year, and that's saying a lot because we played some really good ones this year. Historically, I don't know. I mean, that's hard to, gauge different teams, different eras, et cetera. But there's nothing they don't do well. So you can start with that. They're extremely well coached. D'Amico, Matt, their entire staff does an incredible job. They're very connected. They don't make any mistakes. So, you're not going to get lucky, and have them blow 4 coverages and you just, gain 200 yards. So everything you get, you will earn. Every snap, every down will be difficult. They make the running game difficult. They run and hit, they tackle, they're violent, they're very physical. This is probably the fastest group we've seen all year at all three levels. They run really, really well. The holes that you may have, they won't be there long, whether that's in the running game or, anything you find in the secondary, that's going to be tight. Obviously, the pass rush, everybody's talked about it. The pass rush is elite. I would say the coverage is close to that too. They have a really good combination there in terms of the way they rush and cover. So, this is a challenge schematically, but it's a challenge. They have great players. They know what they're doing. They're fundamentally sound. You're going to have to drive the football. There's not a whole lot of easy opportunities. You're going to need to convert some third downs. So, and certainly take care of the football because they do an incredible job of taking it away. So, I have a great deal of respect for the guys that coach them, and obviously they have elite players at all three levels of the defense. And what a challenge, what an opportunity for us to have a chance to play against a team like this that's playing their best football of the season. There's no question.
Josh, when it comes to game planning this week, just how much do you kind of start with? Can we block this, up front to put this in? And
Every play.
Yeah. And how can you kind of help the tackles out?
Yeah. Look, I mean, the reality is at some point in every play, it becomes one-on-one somewhere. You know what I mean? Like we're not going to double team everybody on every play. It's impossible. And we don't need to, you have to pick your spots on when you need to provide some different looks, I would say, more than anything else. But they're going to rush. We're going to have to block them. We're going to throw the ball. They're going to have to cover. They're going to blitz. We're going to have to block them. And we're going to hand the ball off and try to make some yards in the running game too. So, there's a lot of things you could try to do. At the end of the day, you're going to need to do almost everything you do well enough to stay ahead on the down and distance, to stay on track and give yourself opportunities to finish drives. So there's not going to be any shortcuts to this. Like I said, schematics are schematics, but at the end of the day, we're going to need to play our best game of the year offensively if we want to be productive.
I know that Drake hasn't been a big error repeater this season. How confident are you that you won't have some of the ball security issues they did last year?
Very. Again, we've talked about this all year, the balance of, we loved that he ran for 66 yards, and handled the ball, in those situations and converted on third and short and all the rest of it. I've tried really hard not to, talk out of both sides of my mouth, where I'm saying, hey, don't do this, but do that, you know what I mean? Or clap when it goes good and be upset when it doesn't. So he knows the priority. He knows the importance of taking care of the football. And then every drive with, some form of a kick would be ideal for us this week. And he understands that. So I trust him implicitly to do the right thing for our football team. I know he's prepared. I know he's preparing his butt off right now, and he'll be ready to go.
What's it about Hunter and Anderson specifically?
I'm sorry?
What are you seeing from Hunter and Anderson specifically, and what, on film, and what will it take from the offensive line kind of to go up against those guys?
This is the best duo in the league. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good duos, but and the thing that makes this whole group, I think, as good as they are, is it's not just them. They have two inside guys on every play that do something productive as well. They've created a lot of problems in the middle of the pocket, whether it's Autry or Rankins, or they got a number of guys that have played in there. They're going to roll inside as well. So you have to block all four of them together. You can't just say, well, let's do everything we can to block two guys, because then the other two are going to create a mess. So it's, they have length, they have speed, they have power. I think the thing that nobody talks enough about is the effort that they play with. I mean, that's elite. The effort that they play with is elite, and we're going to have to match the effort and play to the whistle on every play because they make a lot of plays because they play harder than you do. They play longer than you do. And so we've seen that. It's clear to see. You put on any Texan game and you're going to find that on the film. So we understand their play style. Like I said, this is as big a challenge as we've seen all year, as it should be. Each time you win in the playoffs, the next team you play is the best one you've played. So this is not a surprise to me.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, thank you.